Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Jennings, and here is a Apex Nutrition podcast and also an Apex Nutrition video because I'm going to try to do something new and add to my YouTube channel as I add to my podcast channel, and we will see how this goes. It has been a little while since I've made a video or podcasted, but I am getting full swing back into it, and I know I've said it before, I'm a busy mom with 2 different businesses and 4 kids and all of that. So I know this has gone up and down, but I'm really excited for some of the things I'm doing with Apex Nutrition starting now again. And if you want to check out the site, it has a whole new look and some different things going on. But what I want to talk to you today is about dinner. And this is a topic that has been on my heart and brain for a while. And I'm going to tell you why I think dinner is actually the most important meal of the day, especially for parents and parents of small kids, medium kids, teenagers, if you have athletes in the house, that sort of thing. But I'm also going to tell you why it takes the most brunt, why it feels like so much more work than everything else, and just kind of some background on why this is a little bit heavy on my heart and something I just want to give people a lot of encouragement about and some help as well. So some of the background on this, as I've had kids growing up, and I've read different blogs or been a part of different dinner groups or recipe groups, something that's been consistent is that moms and parents are burnt out. And, this often falls on the mom, but some families, either parent makes dinner. It is a lot. It's not just the cooking of dinner. It's the constantly thinking about what's for dinner. It's every day. And for some reason, there is this expectation of variety and, delicious foods and beautiful presentation maybe. And, a lot of it might be the Food Network that has put this pressure on us, Martha Stewart, things like that. But honestly, breakfast can be similar every day. Lunch can be similar, and everyone's kind of off in their different spaces. But dinner feels like a lot of pressure, a lot of burden, and a lot of overwhelm to people. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be fun and delicious and have variety. If you can, absolutely it should. And that is fun if that's something that you can do and that you enjoy doing. But for a lot of moms, this expectation, even just the question, what's for dinner, has become this extra burden in their life. And it's hard. It's very time consuming. There's the thinking of it. There's the shopping for it, planning of it, prepping for it, and then making it. And then for a lot of moms, they report also, it feels kind of like a thankless job as well. So that's at the heart of this, and so what a lot of parents will do is look for advice. And some of the worst advice, in my opinion, that they get is to start meal prepping on the weekends. There is a lot of just discontent among adults, among moms, when it comes to the weekends, because a lot of them feel like now on the weekend, they have their normal things they have to do. On top of it, they have kids' activities. And now on top of it, people are saying their week will go better if they just meal prep on the weekend as well. For a lot of moms, weekends feel harder and much more burdensome than the week. And that is just unfortunate. So I really, really cringe at the recommendation to meal prep on the weekends, like on all Sunday afternoon. For me, what I want to do on Sunday is I want to go to church. Then I want to go skiing or biking or floating on the river with my family, something like that. And then I want to come home, and if it's, there's football on, I'm going to watch that, maybe take a nap, and then we usually have family night, and that involves grilling something and games and things like that. There is no, I truly want myself and other adults to recharge on the weekends. So that's not where I want to see meal prep. So what does that leave us with? That leaves us with a tough situation, but I've got a great solution for you. So keep listening and we will discuss it. But a little bit more about dinner. Why is dinner so important? Dinner is kind of like recovery for the day. I often talk to athletes and coach athletes, and we look at performance nutrition. So performance nutrition is what you eat immediately before, during, and after training or racing or any sort of performance. And what you eat after is how you recover. And so what that means is that you give your body what it needs to heal from the training, because training always involves at least a little bit of wear and tear on your body, to heal, rehydrate, fortify your body, and kind of recover so that the next time you come back strong and ready to go, and you keep getting stronger and stronger. I see dinner as sort of the same thing. It's like the recovery for the day. When I teach people how to eat, I teach how to eat in like a physiological manner. So this means that depending on what is expected of your body, that's kind of how you eat. So during the day, breakfasts and lunches are whole food and healthy, but they include, an adequate amount of carbohydrates, the different types of energy sources that our bodies need. They always have carbohydrates, proteins, healthy fats, fruits and vegetables sprinkled in during the day. At dinner is the opportunity to flood your body with nutrients. You don't need as many carbs if you're an adult, especially one trying to lose weight or maintain a healthy weight, because guess what? You don't need quick energy. Most adults eat dinner and then relax and then go to bed. And in fact, your body will kind of work better if you don't overload yourself with carbs. So that, traditional dinner of like a plate full of spaghetti with French bread on the side, double the carbs. No, there's no place for that in dinner in a healthy diet, not on the regular anyway. So dinner is kind of like your recovery for the day. And what I usually recommend at dinner is a decent amount of protein, a ton of vegetables, so half a plate of vegetables. You've seen me talk about this before, especially fresh raw ones, a lot of leafy greens, things like that. And then a fourth of the plate, so a fourth of the plate is protein. A fourth of the plate can be carbohydrates like a whole grain, or even better, a starchy vegetable, something like a sweet potato, corn, something like that. And then those leafy greens are the half of the plate. So you got a quarter, and then half. And if you are trying to lose weight, we even take away that carbohydrate 5 out of 7 days. So then you're on protein and vegetables. And there are ways to make this delicious, I promise, and something you'll look forward to. But this means that it's recovery. You're giving yourself protein to kind of recover your muscles, recover what you need. It kind of helps with hormones and things like that. Healthy fats are important at dinner. So we're using olive oil, unheated olive oil. It can be used to cook as well at low heats, but those greens have olive oil on them, avocados, and then a ton of vegetables that have antioxidants and phytochemicals and things that support the health of your cells. So dinner is like this opportunity where you can be really thoughtful about these nutrients. Breakfast and lunch are a little bit tougher because people are more on the go, but dinner has that quality to it. Another thing about dinner, this is where you're really teaching your kids how to eat. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes I think parents make is to hide the vegetables, to kind of sneak them into different things. If you want to do that, that's fine. But in addition, or more importantly, primarily, they need to see those greens on their plate every night. They don't have to have half a plate. My kids don't eat half a plate. They eat about a quarter of that. But I want them to see them. I want them to know that even if you don't love something, as long as it doesn't make you gag, there are things that are important to eat in your life that you're not going to love, that you eat them because of what they do for your body, not because of what your taste buds tell you. So there is a little bit of okay, I'm going to eat leafy greens. I don't hate them, but I don't love them, but I'm going to see them visually. I'm going to know that they should be on my plate, and I'm going to eat them. So that is another part of it. You can really set the tone for your kids' entire life of how they see food by just putting a good dinner, a healthy dinner. You can simplify dinner. That is important. Like I said, this plate model of half a plate of greens, a quarter, it could be roasted chicken, and then a sweet potato. The more you simplify and you don't think you have to make, some sort of casserole type dish or something. And in fact, most casserole type dishes are not healthy. So the more you simplify, the easier this can become for you. It doesn't need to be overwhelming. It doesn't need to be gourmet. It can be delicious. And that is something that's not too hard to do. So those are some important things. Also, if you can sit down. Now, I know I have 4 kids, like I said, they're all athletes. So I don't put the guilt on people that it has to be a family dinner all the time. There are practices, there are things happening. So I get that, but we do try to sit down. Me and my husband are there almost every time, unless we're running kids around, but we try to have a time where we sit down, and then whoever of the kids doesn't have a practice at that time is there as well, or work or whatever they're doing, depending on the time of year. So that is all a part of dinner, and those things are important. It's probably one of our only times where we get to talk to our kids, because they're either, in school or at work or sports, and then homework afterwards, whatever it is. So that is a good time for us to sit down and be grateful and talk about it. The other part of this that I think is really important is that the more confidence you have as a parent as to what you are feeding, that this is healthy, that this makes a difference, that it impacts your body, that it's not just because I said so, it's because this will go into your body and flood it with nutrients. It makes your arteries healthier, your brain healthier, your gut healthier, your heart healthier, your muscles healthier, everything healthier from your cells on up. When you have that confidence and you put that forth, and your kids start to see that this makes a difference in my life, even if I can't feel it, at least I know it. And I trust my parents that they are working hard to give me this food. The more you can instill that, I'm telling you, I work with teenagers. I'm going to do another video about this, but I work with teen athletes who sit there and take notes while I talk. They truly believe what I'm saying. And I know I'm not their mom, but my kids do too. And I have tried to instill in them over time that, food makes a difference. And it's important. The more they learn that growing up, absolutely the better. So I hope that I've inspired you that what you make every night, what you put on the table matters. The other thing is that I know takeout every once in a while is fine, but if this has become the default because you don't have time, because you don't have a plan, because whatever reason dinner is not there, the difference in the quality of the ingredients, the foods that you will get with takeout versus what you'll make at home is just night and day. And one of the biggest places is just the use of healthy oils like olive oil and avocado oil versus salad oil or vegetable oil, seed oils, soybean oil, what you will get at most restaurants. They cannot always spend the money, and that's what it comes down to give you a good quality oil. And the thing with fats and oils and what you make at home versus what you get in a box or what you get from a restaurant is that they impact your body's overall inflammatory responses versus anti-inflammatory responses. And chronic inflammation from the foods we eat are at the heart of most all chronic modern diseases. So this is important stuff. So you have to believe it, and then you have to have confidence to tell your kids about it, to tell your family about it, and put it in front of them and show them that this makes a difference. So I hope I have inspired you a little bit, at least with healthy eating, with healthy dinners, that you are making a difference. And then I just want to give you a bit of a solution. So one of the new parts of Apex Nutrition, something I'm so excited about, is I'm offering dinner planning. And what this means is that every week of the month, you buy it at a month at a time, and it's a membership. You can buy a month where it just automatically renews, and of course you can cancel anytime, or I will have an offer where you can buy it whatever month you want, but that one will be a little bit more expensive. The monthly membership is only $9, and what you get for $9 a month is 5 meals per week. These meals are picked out by me. They're meals I use. They're recipes I've used forever or have integrated in, and I've tried them. And so 5 meals per week. You get the full meals, the full recipes, the full shopping list. You also get what I teach as kick butt in the kitchen method. So this is the fun part. I've developed a method where basically it's a flow to cooking, to where you do the prep while you are making dinner on Monday. And because of the meals I've picked, this works. So it's not a lot of extra time. It might cost you 10 minutes on Monday while you're already making dinner. You're looking ahead and kind of getting things ready. That means that for the next 4 days, so let's say you're using these 5 meals Monday through Friday. For the next 4 days, things are quick and easy and basically done for you. By Friday, you'll feel like you did get takeout because that thing is in place and ready and done for you. So this is what I'm going for. It's how I've cooked. It's how I've kind of survived when I've had 4 kids, especially before the oldest started driving, and all 4 of them were going different ways. And I still love to do things. On Wednesday nights, for example, I uphill ski through the winter with some girlfriends, and this was super important to me. And so I had to develop, about 5 years ago, I had to develop a method that allowed me to cook meals I could be proud of, that I could give to my kids with confidence, but not lose my sanity as well. So this is what I've developed, and now I want to share it with you. So you're going to get the 5 recipes, that menu with a full shopping list every week. You're going to learn the flow. So they are constructed in this flow that I'm going to teach you, the kick butt in the kitchen method. You are going to feel like you're kicking butt. And then in addition, you're going to get quick text videos from me 5 days a week to help you build your confidence with nutrition. So these are little nutrition tips that teach you about nutrition and how what you're cooking for your family is impacting their body. So you're going to get the confidence, you're going to get the menu and the recipes, and you are going to get the full method. So I deliver this monthly. So for those of you who plan in a month, which I do, as far as like I buy our meats all at once. I live 40 minutes from the nearest like large grocery store. So I get that. So you'll get it at the beginning of the month, and then you'll get it again every week. So you can plan accordingly how you want to. It's really easy to swap out meals if it's something you don't like, because on the ingredients list, each one is notated with what meal it comes from. So you can just mark them out as you need to, swap in what you like. You don't have to use all 5 meals, but if you want to, you certainly can. And so I just think that you are going to get so much value out of this, and I'm going to take that mental load off of you. And the reason I do 5 is because everyone has meals they want to incorporate, Burger Friday or whatever it is, Pizza Friday, but these other 5 meals can be integrated. This is not for people who, necessarily hate to cook. Maybe it will help if you hate to cook because they're simple, they're easy, less than 30 minutes on the table. You're going to be proud. But what I've found is I don't hate to cook. It was a lot. And so by learning this method and doing this thing, it made it so on the weekends, it reinvigorated me to cook very fun, bigger type meals, and learn new things. I've learned sourdough over the years. I've learned, it's freed me up to cook homemade brownies. So maybe we have, homemade desserts on hand instead of packaged. It's freed me up to enjoy baking again rather than not having time for it because I'm just cooking every day. The last piece of this doesn't mean I'm not going to do all the things I've done previously. I still have plans for athletes. I have plans for metabolism. I have plans for all of it still, for healthy eating. But what I found is sometimes trying to make some sort of transformation with nutrition gets lost in the weeds because just the daily dinners weren't happening. That part's too hard. So making some sort of transformation becomes impossible for people. So when we get these basics down and, over the generations, maybe we've lost this a little bit, just this ability to put dinner on the table, and we've got to, adjust and adapt to our lives as they are now. And this is going to do it for you. Kick butt in the kitchen method dinner club. It's the KBK dinner club, $9 a month. Why not? Why not just try it at least and see if it just frees up that mental load, inspires you to get these meals on the table, takes, you will save hours every week by putting meals on in 30 minutes or less most nights. And of course, like I said, you'll have things prepared ahead of time without doing it on Sunday. No, thank you. So I hope this inspires you and gives you a solution. Check it out. Go on to the site, apexnutritionllc.com, and see what you think. And I can't wait to see you for more podcasting, more blogging, more of it all in the upcoming days, weeks, months, years. So thank you for sticking with me after all this time, for all my old listeners, for the Apex Nutrition podcast. And I will see you next time.